Creatives, welcome back. Today I have a sweet little piano exercise for you, hopefully something that you haven't really done before. It is perfect for beginners as well as intermediates, and it's one of those exercises that gets you sat down in front of the piano and just playing for hours. You know, tons of fun, tons of benefit, my kind of exercise. So, right hand into the G position. We're going to use the G major scale here. We're going to kind of manipulate all those notes and, you know, hopefully give you a bit of a spin on that G major scale. So if you haven't done the G major scale, then go away and go ahead and practice that. But really quickly, the notes we're going to use is G, A, B, C, D, like this, and then the E, the F sharp, and the G at the top. So this is middle C, and it's the G just above middle C to the G above that here. Okay, this is the kind of our area. Now, the trick here is to just you're not going to plan anything out. This isn't me telling you, this is the exercise, you're going to learn it, and then you're going to go away and, you know, just practice that. No. This is one of those exercises where you're just going to set yourself off and try and get into a flow. Try and just not think about what's coming next. Just accept where that melody is going to go. Okay? And the thing that we're doing here is we're confining ourselves to one octave in the G scale, in the key of G, and we are not worried about rhythm. We're just going bam, 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 bam. Very, very nice and very consistent. But I want you to try and just like let loose, relax, enter into a really nice headspace, and just start playing those notes totally at random. Okay? And then, when you get a bit better at this, when it becomes a little bit more familiar, okay, then you can start hunting out melodies. And this is where the exercise really starts coming alive. You want to start trying to find those little fragments of melodies that sound good. Without having to worry about rhythm. And I must stress, you know, this isn't me saying this is how you write melodies. This is me saying this is an exercise, purely and simply, okay? And what we're trying to do here by putting ourselves into that kind of flow state, giving ourselves that bit of stress, you know, when we don't know what's coming next, we're trying to develop that connection between perhaps our musical thoughts. You know, we think, oh, where does the melody want to go? You know, we have these, as musicians, we have these kind of like ideas of where we want the melody to go. And this exercise, in its rawest form, is connecting that essence of our musicianship, this sort of like musical intuition, with the fingers, and really trying to connect those two so that when we have these musical ideas, the hand and the fingers behave, you know, and you can channel that down into the piano and out into the world. That's kind of like the idea behind this. But, you know, if that sounds all a bit woo-woo to you, then don't worry about it. Just do the exercise and just know that there are benefits to it. If it's a little bit complicated to start with and you're not quite getting it, then just stick to these 5 notes, right? There's so much you can do with just these 5 notes. You know, the world is your oyster, so to speak. Anyway, once you've done those first 5 notes, then you can add in the E at the top, right? Just one extra note, yeah? Layer it up, layer at a time. Get used to that. And then you can bring in the F sharp. And then, of course, the G when you're ready. So you see how we're having a bit of a staged approach here. So look, that is the exercise in a nutshell. Before we finish, I do want to talk about that left hand to put this exercise on steroids, but first, a very, very quick announcement. If you've been with me for a while and you like my kind of more creative, more melodic, and hopefully more inspirational approach to teaching piano, then you might be interested in something I've been working on for the past 12 months. I've basically called it the Creative Piano Academy, funnily enough, and it is my complete learning environment for essentially learning piano from scratch, from the ground up, using my more creative methods that hopefully you've come to know and love. So if that sounds interesting to you, then you need to be on my email list so that you get more information about it when it's available. You can click the link in the cards, information box down below, sign up, and I'll also send over the best adult piano practice plan as well. Does what it says on the tin, super useful, and it'll transform your practice. So sign up, sign up. Now, the left hand, I'm not going to spend too much time on this because there's literally hundreds of things we could do here, but I'm just going to give you one idea that you can try out. We can use single notes in the left hand, and we can use all of the notes in the key of G, okay? We can use basically this G here up to this G at the top. All of them are going to work underneath this. So really, you can start out just by playing this G, okay? So get that right hand in motion, and make sure you're fairly comfortable with the exercise first in that right hand, so we're not having to think about it too much. And then just play around with changing those left hand notes, yeah? Really good notes to use are obviously the G, C, E, and D, yeah? So you can start out with those. And then for a bit of variety, I'm cheating. You can start building in those other notes, and just take, I don't know, 1 bar, 2 bars, you know, either 8 strikes here, and just change on each one of those. And this is where you could write out some notes in the left hand and, you know, learn a bit of a pattern in the left hand so that you're not having to worry about that too much. But eventually over time, and I must stress over time, okay, so don't be overwhelmed by this to begin with. It's all in stages. You can just set that set the right hand off, and just start playing around with that left hand as well. And notice how, again, you know how I called the G and the D the power notes? The G is our root chord. So it's always going to sound good to return there, yeah? Anyway, you know, I could play around with that for ages. I mean, obviously there's so much more you can do with this as a principle. You know, we can expand that right hand infinitely. We can expand the left hand into all sorts of weird and wonderful left hand techniques. But hopefully that gives you enough to sit down at that piano, have a good crack at, and try and develop that inner musician. You'll start to, you know, develop that musical ear. You know, where are those melodies? What sounds good to you? All of that good stuff. Thanks for watching, guys, and remember, of course, you can do this in any key at all, any key you're working on. When you're getting that right hand used to which black keys you can use in any key. Perfect little exercise for that. Anyway, hope you've enjoyed it, and I will see you in the next video. Peace. Don't forget to subscribe.